Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make one of these lovely scallop shell trinket dishes. Firstly, thank you to everybody who responded to my story the other day where I asked for suggestions. I've made a note of them all and they'll keep me busy in tutorials, I think, for the rest of the year. So that's great. This is actually the first one I've decided to do, purely because I've got an order for one of these trinket dishes. So I thought I may as well kill two birds with one stone and have a go at making it while showing you guys how I do it. So just going to mix up my pigments. What I'm doing with this one, the lady who's ordered it, she sent me a picture of a coaster that I'd made about a year ago, and she asked if I could sort of mirror the colours and the additions in there and put them into a trinket dish. So this coaster, obviously I had made it quite some time ago, but from looking at it I knew I'd used the raspberry pigment, which is this one from Just For You. I knew that I'd used a baby pink as well, and I also knew that I'd used some red petal shells, which are from Just For You. So I'm going to add all of those different colours into this trinket dish to try and match the coaster as best as possible. So I am of course using the Just For You Apex resin, which is here. It's been warming and I've mixed the two parts together for 3 minutes as recommended. So I think one of the first things I'm going to do is actually to pour some of the red petal shells in, because what I want is for them to be, I think, more just to one side. That will look quite nice. I don't know if any of you have ever used these red petal shells before. They also do pink petal shells and abalone shells. And the abalone shells, the mini ones, are a personal favourite of mine. I absolutely love them. I use them in coasters, artwork, trinket dishes, all sorts of things. So I'm just making sure that all these pigments are really, really, really well and truly mixed. And what I've also done with this raspberry pigment, I've made up another shade by just adding a touch of Supreme White. So if you are just starting out in resin, I would definitely recommend buying the Just For You Supreme White, because it's such a good staple product to have. I use it on its own as a white, but I also use it a lot mixed in with other colours to lighten them. It's just brilliant for that. So I think we are good to go. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to pour some of this clear resin, which is nice as well, because you'll end up with some nice areas of clear resin in the trinket dish, which I think looks lovely. Personally, that's my preference. Now I have actually used up, these are the last of my red petal shells, so I do need to try and buy some more, because I absolutely love these. Okay, so I have popped all of those in there, and then what I'm going to do is just push a few of them down, but also leave a few here, because I think that looks quite nice. Because if you imagine, when you take this out the mould, it will be the other way around. So I think it always does look quite nice when you've just got a few sort of scattered as well. Okay, and now I'm just going to start to fill the mould up. Now there's so many different ways you can do this, so many. But as I say, because I'm trying to sort of mimic a coaster that I made, I'm going along the lines of layering a few of the colours up. Now you do want to make sure, if you've got this mould at home, you'll know it's a little bit tricky because it's quite a shallow, there's quite a shallow gap to pour the resin into. So you need to make sure that any pockets of empty space are obviously filled with the resin, because you do not want empty pockets when you demould it. Okay, so we are getting there. Go for a bit more of this raspberry, isn't it just lovely? I've actually got the raspberry powder and I've got the raspberry paste. I love both for different reasons. You know, the paste, as you can see, is an absolutely gorgeous colour. The powder has sort of a really delicate shimmer to it, so I do love that as well. But I just use them in different things and for different reasons. I know I definitely use the raspberry paste in the coaster, which is why I'm going for that in this dish. Give it a quick blast with my torch, but then basically what I will do is leave that for about 10 minutes, just to allow any sort of bubbles to rise to the surface, and then we'll see what it looks like when it comes out of the mould.